All right, folks, welcome back. Our last semifinal. Who is going to play Poland? You want to say Sweden on that when you look at that matchup, but they're going to play Poland. Poland's going to try to win a championship here. $50,000 first place. So they're sitting there waiting. Now we have the good information. We know the maps. So France picked Cobble, and Russia picked Mirage, leaving us cash as a tiebreaker. Starting with you, let's kind of get into these maps. And again, for those at home, one team picks the map, other team picks the side. Very important on some of these maps.
Yeah, so we can see that Russia vetoed Inferno, basically, maybe realizing that it's the best map for France, but they didn't decide to go for Train as I suggested. So they decided to go for Mirage. Now, if it were like 3 or 4 months ago, I would say, yeah, Russia, this is probably the best map for them. Titan, never been that good on Mirage, had a few...
Didn't play it very often.
Yeah, and Envious never played it. But in this latest lineup of Envious, we saw them crush Navi on Mirage at the major as well, because they actually, they are changing the meta a bit. They involve they get some changes, They have extremely fast-paced, aggressive play, which caught a lot of their opponents at the major off guard. So having, now that they're going to play it here as well, I think it's a good map for France as well. So, but we see that France picked Cobblestone, even though they lost it against Poland, realizing that it's probably not as good of a map for Russia.
I mean, to be fair, every time we mention their loss against Poland on that map, we have to bring up that they were absolutely dominating the map until the pause, for whatever reason that would be.
DDoS.
Yeah, obviously. DDoS now, dead of course. And which then led to like half an hour, if not more, and then Poland mounted this amazing comeback. So there's another world in which maybe that doesn't happen, and they might just close it out, 16-4 or something. It was some crazy score.
They were 10-2 up, weren't they? I think.
I think it was further. I think they were close to like 14 or 15 rounds, weren't they?
And they were up 14-5,
Yep.
Right.
And it went into overtime. But another thing we should take into account is the way that, veto process goes, but the team that picks a map, the opposing team picks the side. There's no knife round. So maybe that's another reason why Russia wouldn't pick Train, because they don't want to start that map from the T side, while Mirage on the other hand is a bit more even. It's not as a city-sided map as Train is, definitely.
So just looking at the veto overall, again, nothing changes. It's still a 2-0 for me. I don't think we'll see cash need to be used at all. Like as my friend here has rightly pointed out, they're in a good run now. Envious on Mirage. It's clearly a map they're capable on. Not a favorite. Like it's obviously down, but they can play it. I think Russia missed a massive trick by not picking Train. I think even starting T-side on Train would have been preferable to having to face France on Mirage, where they're clearly competent on that map. Train is the one map that so far has eluded them. They haven't really sat down and done anything on it, the Envious lineup. I think that's probably... It's one of those vetoes where by trying to play to your strengths and not taking into account your opponent's weaknesses, I think you've maybe not thought as deeply as you need to do, and I think they've actually not vetoed intelligently there.
I do think Mirage is the best chance for Russia. I think this is the one where they can get into double-digit rounds. They can make it exciting, at least. We know some of the players on the Russian team have been fantastic on Mirage at the point. Obviously, the Na'Vi players, we know that's a signature map for them. But even World Edit, over on Flipside, there was a time when that was their best map, and that was the one that it really could do some damage on. The Hellraisers guys have always enjoyed that map. That's historically one that you go back in time to the early period of Hellraisers. That's the one that they were upsetting teams on. So I think that that's the chance for them. I still think it's going to be 2-0 to France, though.
I was about to ask you, are you going to make any changes, Kit?
For me personally, just to add to that point, in my opinion, both Navi and Flipside are probably in top 3 or top 4 teams on T-side Mirage in the world. But the thing is, the way they play it out of defaults and then going for the 3-prong attack on the A side or for a beast split, you need to work a lot and practice a lot on your coordination and on your timing. So even though they're really good on the map in their own teams, it's much more difficult to do it in a mixed team environment.
There's also no Guardian.
Yeah, and just the point I was about to bring up, like, there's absolutely, it's irrelevant in a way. They talk about what teams that they're in domestically and how good they are and the T-side executes. They'll have none of that cohesion here. And certainly for Na'Vi, the reason it's so good is you've got Guardian just taking control of mid on the map, like pretty much routinely. He goes there, he gets a pick, he can do it on the CT side from the window, he can do it T side from the top of mid, and he controls the area. It gives you so many options about where to go to do those executes. So yeah, I can't see it just being a factor. It's 2-0. It's got to be.
Again, I would say keys to victory. Obviously, you're all kind of thinking. So let's go. What does Russia have to do? Is it a matter of? Go ahead.
So here's one thing that would change the series: is if World Edit had a really good best of 3. If he really was able to play up to some fantastic form, because one thing I think this team's lacked actually, they've got so many good riflers, so many good aggressive riflers, so many good defensive riflers. The one thing for me they don't have is a really good AWPer. Like World Edit's someone who uses the AWP a lot, but he was using it quite poorly when I saw him play yesterday with it. Meanwhile, Hooch in his career has used the AWP a lot of Russian players have, but I wouldn't be putting him on a dedicated AWP right now. So I think that's the one thing they're going to lack in this series. Meanwhile, over on the French side, I don't think they have a very strong dedicated AWP. So I think if it goes how I expect, it'll just be mainly 5 rifles versus 5 rifles, or World Edit not having that much impact on an AWP. But if he could really get his AWP rolling, I don't think there's anyone on the French side who's going to be able to match a good AWP, basically. Because Smith's is all iffy, and you see him go away from it now. Happy thinks he's an AWPer, but he thinks a lot of things. I don't always agree. So I think that could be the X factor for Russia.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything to suggest World Edit's going to go off, especially as he's taken a step up in the caliber of opponent he's playing here. Yesterday, I thought he missed way too many easy shots, like the basics. Sure, you might come up with an amazing flashy 4K with no scopes and everything. We were laughing about it, weren't we? Because he'd missed just basic, like 2 or 3 attempts. You cannot afford to do that against France because they're so good with rifles. You're going up against people like Shocks, they're going to bang you out with 1 bullet if you miss an AWP shot. So he could end up in that sort of Adren land that we often talk about, where you're basically a $5,000 decoy grenade. You know, you're making all the noises and frightening people, but if you don't get any kills, it's irrelevant.
Just to clarify, since Adrian does actually also play in the past in Hellraiser, he's talking about Badrin. The bad Adrian.
You call him that.
The American guy, yeah. Oh, one actual other factor to bring in as well that'll make it hard for that to be an X factor, I think, is that we know the French team, we know Happy's teams force spy religiously, and even their version of a save is really aggressive OP pistol play. So it's going to be hard, even if you have an AWP going, to keep a hold of it. It's going to impact the economy.
Definitely, and I agree 100% that in order Russia to have a chance in this match to make it competitive, World Edit needs to step up. He actually had a good showing in the major qualifiers in their deciding map in order to qualify. Blade also pointed out in an interview he did there that in his opinion, the AWPer is the key player in any team. He's the most important player in the game. If you can utilize your AWPer well, if he has a good game, that's your key to victory. So World Edit 100% needs to step up from yesterday in order to make it competitive for Russia in this matchup.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. That's going to do it for our segment. Will France book another ticket to the finals? Who's going to match up with Poland? Blue and Natu are going to walk you through it.
All right, thanks a bunch, Scoots, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our second semifinal, which is going to be getting started here in just a few moments. We're about to rock and roll, and it's going to be right here on Cobblestone. So, Natu, we've already heard the analysts' thoughts. What are your thoughts going into this first map here?
I think the big problem that Russia has is lack of leadership. On France side, you have Happy, obviously, and this team has, or the national lineup has a lot of history together. Envy is obviously 4 players playing on the same team. There's pairs, obviously, on the Russian side. You know, I have the Navi one and flip side one. But the real problem I have is they don't have a real in-game leader. Cobblestone City side is a very, very reliant map on coordination, good rotations, and good communication. So I actually can see them having issues here, even on Cobblestone City side.
And we are going to start off here, thankfully, because it was France's first map pick. I do believe they're going to get the opportunity to pick the side. And again, it tends to be a little bit more of a T-sided map, just based on the way we see, at least from European meta, the way it tends to go there. So do you think they're going to be able to have a stronger start here because they're starting off there, or will that factor really not come into play too much?
No, I just think France is they're just going to overwhelm Russia. That's the way I just see it happening. It's going to be the 2 teams that have the most firepower, but the key difference is that there's just more synergy in the French lineup.
And talking a little bit here, just to bounce back, because this was a point the analysts hinged on quite a bit there too, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this one. World that had actually, I mean, in the groups, and granted, again, Russia did have a fairly easy group when you look at their opponents. World that actually had a fantastic group stage when you look at his stats, but as we said yesterday, in the quarterfinals fell flat a little bit yesterday. Do you think, versus with the players he's going to be going against here, do you think he'll have a better performance today, or is he going to have a little bit of trouble with the people he's going up against?
You know, I mean, I think he's a big issue really is that he wants to make plays too flashy. He's one of those, not one of those guys who just takes a good angle and tries to hit the shot and make a good play for the team. He wants to hit those flick shots. He wants to make those crazy movie type of movie, like a real move. So that's his big issue. I think that the lack of consistency is again, is going to be an issue.
And then I think as well, just to bounce off that point and to go back to one you made just a few moments ago here with the lack of leadership there too. If there's no one really sitting there to sort of ring that personality in and ring him in to sort of working with the rest of the team to a strategy, I feel that could maybe become a little bit of a problem as well.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday we saw when they were playing Norway as well, an overpass, they were really struggling on the T side. All they had really was a default going on, taking over toilets, taking over lawn. They may have even gotten some entries, but like, what would they do after that? They really never knew what to do.
Yeah. And of course, talking about some of the other personalities here, just looking at this one too, who are you looking to see coming out as an all-star performance here from France, looking at all 5 of those players?
I mean, you could actually pick any of them, to be honest with you. It's going to be interesting to see how, I mean, obviously, just seeing the combination of you know, Shocks and Smits playing together with MBK, Happy, that whole thing, like, if things get rough, is there anything from you know, previously, obviously playing as a team, and then what happened last summer? Is there going to be any issues in that terms? I think it could be anyone from those 5 guys.
And then we'll switch back over to, and we'll talk a little bit about the second map, as I believe we've got all 10 players in the map, guys, by the way, just waiting for them to ready up, and then we should be getting started at any moment. But to talk a little bit about the second map, too, as we're just waiting at this point, what do you think is going to be happening there? And we've seen some very strong teams in the past, specifically Virtus Pro, technically not sort of in the same region, but sort of in the same area. We've seen a lot of strong performances coming out from those players before on maps like Mirage and their T side. Do you think that this Russian team is going to be competent there, and hopefully we'll have a little bit more steam going into that map, or do you think they're going to run into the same problems? Again, a good point the analyst mentioned was the lack of Guardian being there, which has been, at least when you look at Navi, has been such a crucial component to it. But what are your thoughts on
Yeah, when you play default kind of a gameplay, you really need those people that do those openings. That's Navi's really relying on Guardian making the plays. Doesn't really matter the map. They're really struggling if Guardian's not delivering. So that's the big question mark. Who's going to be the one making those opening kills on this team on Mirage? They're going to have to start on the T side, I'm going to assume. So, I mean, it's going to be super tough in those terms.
And looking at some of the other players, once again here, just talking a little bit about some of these guys that are going to be coming into play. I think Dosha, I mean, there's been a lot of talk about him recently too, and at least yesterday in some of the games that we saw, and again, harking back to the groups a little bit there too, I think he's got a lot to show for this event here too, because there's been a lot of talk about him recently, and he's definitely going to want to show off. Do you think he's going to be coming out today in a big factor of wanting to once again just sort of prove himself, or?
He would have to, put it that way. They were talking about, Janko was calling it a slump, but it's just been a lack of performance from him for a very long period of time. He used to be a superstar in 1.6. He used to be a very good player early on in CSGO. I don't know what happened, what it is. Something took away the wings, the wind under his wings for some reason. So it's a lot of this is maybe a part of like self-confidence, one of those things, which is a huge factor for he's kind of game player who's a huge impact player. Does a lot of frags usually, and used to that. If things are not going his way, you easily down spiral.
And now as we talk a little bit about, things that could go wrong on both these teams, we've gone over a lot of that with Russia, but let's look a little bit here at France and think about, there's definitely been a lot of hype about them, and when we revealed the groups and whatnot, everybody was saying, oh, it's going to be France easily. They've got this one in the bag here at this point. But what do you think, if anything, are going to be the weaknesses here of France going up against Russia?
That's actually a very good question. To be honest with you, I just don't see Russia having many chances. I mean, the only thing I could see is what we saw previously. They were playing against Poland. There was a long pause, and they sort of just ran out of momentum, it felt like. And they made some really stupid plays. You saw very uncharacteristic plays from these guys. So, I mean, if they just zone out, don't think of, if they're just not playing smart enough, I guess, you know, there's potential there, but I don't see that happening. They're pissed off from that.
All right, guys, well, we are going live now into the first map, so let's get to it. It's Russia versus France here at the second and final semifinal of the World Championships 2015 first map over here on Cobblestone. And as we take a look at the action here, already with France moving their way forward, splitting themselves up just a little bit here, but at the same time, Russia getting a little bit aggressive too. And as you can see, they push themselves to some degree a little bit further in the middle, so they can tell for the most part that this is going to be a take over here towards the B site. Yeah,
France not opting to buy 80 nades is an interesting approach. Usually on this map, you want to make sure you're catching some of the choke points off, but here they come. They're coming through the drop zone. It's going to be attack.
And Flaming, they're going to be opening it up. He finds one headshot, more support coming in. Apex was able to sneak off one, but Hoocher picking up two for himself, as does World Edit. Happy picking up one more kill, but that's going to be it, and Russia will pick up the pistol round to open things up here in this set.
Big plays from Hoocher, but the weird things from France. They were hoping for Russia to play really aggressively, get that first pick right off the bat. Obviously not getting that. It was Russia playing pretty passively, actually. That really paid off for them.
Now we'll go back over here to the second round and see. Taking a look at the buys, actually, I mean, we've been seeing a lot of these teams here just go directly for the rifle upgrades, but I mean, you're looking from Russia, actually, they're very calm about this. They've gone for a lot of SMGs. They're going to try to stack up the economy here.
And French guys going for those Tech 9 armors, couple of smokes, smoke and two flashes to work with. Very common from the good old Envy times.
World Edit is able to spot that though, so he backs up, gives them a little bit of room, and Shock's again going to move forward there for his teammates, or just trying to move forward and find the way over here to move into the site, but still very, very committed to this long A take at the moment. World Edit will be the player that has to stop it, and there's the first kill being picked up, and the bomb too, already on the ground for this though, so France is going to have to press forward here right into his face. That flash comes out, but it doesn't do, and World Edit picking up another kill. We saw Smith's escape with one over onto, but Flaming and C's getting the trades, and it's going to leave it all down to Happy, although he picked up one kill, immediately he's going to get shut down there by Hoocher to give Russia their second round as well.
Yeah, great job playing together there on the side hole there. Not letting France get a pick on World Edit without getting casualties on themselves. So yeah, good job from Russia there. Only dropping 2 players as well. It's always big going further in this half.
And France, again, unfortunately going to have to take this one as a pretty much lapse around here, not really going for any big buys. P250s here and there, absolutely no utility and no armor. So Russia are aware of this, and again, just lapsing there on the SMGs a little bit, and they're going to try to stack up some money once again before they upgrade to the guns on round number 4.
No respect plays here from Seized, pushing in as well.
Already picking up 2 kills for himself there too. Maybe picking the third, but I think getting a little bit low, so he's just going to play it safe in that regard. Doge, in the meantime, though, actually gets shut down by France there, as we are going to see Shocks picking up that kill over onto him. So there's one trade at least, and the rest of the team now trying to find a way to work into one of these sites as they've split themselves up. One player sort of over towards middle, another one over towards B, and another trying to work over inside a castle to get themselves grouped up with the rest of the team now. But we're going to see Flamey there trying to take him down. He finds that kill going over there, and that should equalize things as the rest of France, they're going to try to work their way back up to long A, I do believe. But again, Russia pretty much already ready for this, so it's probably going to get shut down pretty fast.
Yeah, it's their golden mark right now is to get the bomb plant. I don't think they're going to get that, though. World Edit taking down both MBK and Happy. It's going to be 3-0 Russia, and quite clean anti-ecos for Russia there. Going further down here. That was pretty good. Now France is going to have to, they're not going to have any ops on to play, obviously. Not that they need, really, so a lot of work needs to work with as well. See how they approach this.
And taking a look at the buys exactly, as you had already mentioned here, France not really opting to go for an op, the economy not in too good of a spot, but World Edit, of course, going to be picking up his, and the more important thing is Hoocher actually still sticking with that SMG at this point, as he still feels confident with it, so we'll see how that pans out. But they actually move forward pretty aggressively, at least in the case of World Edit, and again, he's already pushed up pretty far through long A, so we'll have to be careful of this, but the play already working its way over here, at least trying to get 2 players over towards the broken wall, but Dosha not having any of this, like sneaking up here, might be going for a play, but that's going to get spotted out by Shocks, and France is going to pick up the first kill, but immediately traded back out there by Flamey, as he finds Shocks and evens things out at a 4-on-4.
Yeah, Shocks is taking very aggressive there, but Doja, I'm not really sure what he was trying to accomplish there. He just gets picked off. It's a 4-on-4 situation, always favoring the T side as well. As you can see right now, it's only World Edit towards his A side. It's going down to Apex as well. It's going to be the whole side open right now.
And Flamey there looking for somebody up on the broken wall. It's Happy, but he's still playing around with so many of these players over on the B site. Flamey is going to be able to shut it down, but the take already starting back over here on the A site in the meantime, and C's way out in the open over by the APC, so that's an easy kill for NBK to grab. And now it's just going to be Flamey. Already smoked off here, but it looks like he may try to sneak his way in here anyway. Looking to work it, but already getting taken out, but he actually gets the kill there. Thankfully, it's traded out quickly by Apex, and France will pick up the first gun round.
That's the great thing about this France lineup. They don't really have to just get those first picks so easily. It's how they work it. Doesn't matter who they're playing against. They'll just always make it into either a 5-on-4 or a 4-on-4. That's always going to be beneficial for the T's. So yeah, it's just a great place there. It was C's being alone on 8 site, getting picked off, and it was pretty much done for at that point.
And Russia not opting to save, of course, because of how much money they were able to basically work through with on those first couple of rounds there with them being so clean. So they are going to buy through it. On the utility end of, for those that were able to buy up N4s, it is going to be somewhat limited, but World Edit, of course, going down to that 5-7 to make up for that and add a little bit more into the mix, of course, and that's going to weaken them to some degree. But France here, too, already lining up and splitting themselves forward here once again. But as we see, Flamey, unfortunately, is going to shut down Shox as he tries to blindly push through that smoke. The pop flash not really working out the way it does, but at the same time, again, it's all going to be a ruse as Apex pushing his way over here up the ramp to get onto the A site, picks up another kill to respond to this and get it right back into that 4-4, leaving World Edit to try and defend this A site with just that 5-7. Hooch, of course, along with World Edit, picking up 2 more kills directly after this one. Happy is going to find one for France, taking down Flamey. And now again, we look at Russia. They're trying to hold on to this site. They've gotten control of it, so France sitting back for now. They still got a lot of time to work with at this point. 50 seconds left on the clock, and they're just sitting back, waiting to see if Russia will try to flank them. And I think at this point, they are still going to go back to this usual A take after a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, that was an interesting round to start off with. Shoxy trying to keep those 3 players at B site, and then the rest of the France team just plowing towards that A site. Now all of a sudden it's a 2-on-3 situation. Happy and Smiths lurking their way up on that A site. The free kill to Smiths. The World Edit going down.
And Smiths with shutting that one down here. Unfortunately, Russia still going to be a little bit investigative here, but we can see there that Happy in between takes out another one sneaking through. He's going to be able to shut down Doja, and now it all falls on to Hooch here, as he's going to have to try to hold on to this one. And with 12 seconds left, actually, they are going to redirect the bomb back over to the B site to keep it safe. And again, they should have enough time to plant this, so it's actually going to be pretty safe for them. And Hoocher, unfortunately, will be left into a situation where he's like, well, darn, what do I do here?
Yeah, he's pretty much screwed at this point. I think Happy's probably going to get him here. And there we go. He picks it up. This is going to be the strength of France. Doesn't matter if they're outnumbered, they're going to be able to just produce rounds like this. World Edit going down, I'm not really sure what he was doing. His position was just way too wide open there on the site, giving that entry, but he was Hoochie and World Edit both really contributing a lot in this round, but obviously not enough. It's France picking up another round, and Russia's going to be saving this one.
And with the economy broken for Russia, of course, not much they can accomplish. They aren't really going to go for one of those risky sort of 5-man pushes towards one of the avenues, though. They still play to the defaults for the time being, so they're going to split themselves up. Hope they can maybe find a superior angle or two and take out a couple players. But Happy already scoring some kills. It was an attempt to do a reverse boost back over there inside a drop room. Doesn't really pan out so well. Happy's waiting for this one, and now gets the molly out to try and overexpose the pop flash too. Looking for the kill there. A little bit of trouble closing it out, though, so Doja's going to pick that one up. Flamey also found a kill elsewhere, so we are looking at the moment here, Russia still having the man advantage. Unfortunately, though, no upgrades being obtained off of these kills, so they're still sitting with just pistols.
And Shox here into B's bomb side as well. Has the knowledge, gets a pick on Flamey. It's getting a bit hairy here for France, though, but still he has the B bomb site. And BK is cleaning it up. It's all on Doja.
And it looks like, again, here, Doja should be getting shut down in a moment, and there you have it. Shox still holding on there and still infiltrating his way into that B site. Is going to finish off the kills, picking up another round for France, and I believe that is going to tie things up at 3 points.
Yep, and Russia, I think they're going to have to fare without an AWP on this one, so let's see if that changes their approach to this round and their defense.
You take a look at what exactly they have here. Again, overall, nothing too much out of the way of armor and whatnot. I am a little bit worried about the utility end of this one. They seem to have enough smoke to work with, but when it comes to flashes and whatnot, they're going to be a little bit limited in that, so they do have to be careful when that entry comes in from France.
Yeah, no Molotovs either. That's the big key part here, possibly. France seems to be able to produce those openings. It's going to be the same approach from France once again. It's Happy and Shoxy here, just going towards this B site, trying to produce a first kill, and the rest of the guys are taking over these A halls. Apex whiffing that Molotov slightly.
Just a little bit. So that's
just a little bit.
That's going to hold him back for a few moments here, but they'll push through this one anyway, and I don't believe Russia are really going to take the bait on that one, so they'll sit back for the time being, relaxed to it. France, again, though, do think they're still going to commit this bomb that, has been floating out over there towards the middle to where it could commit to either site still, but it looks like they are going to move it inside of mid-con and try to push it over onto the A site for good reason, too, because Doja just picked up the first kill back over here on the B site by Broken Wall.
Yeah, France still indecisive. They haven't really made any moves yet, what they're going to be doing. Happy's trying to sneak his way into this B plateau. He's going to be the one trying to make the play first and try to cause rotation from the Russian lineup. Let's see if he succeeds with it.
This is such a good thing for Russia, too. We'll go back to this one in a second as we can see Apex working his way onto that site now. They're going to start it, but Flamey again with the response didn't seized. No one has spotted him yet. He's still sitting back over here on the ramp, and they may not even need him, to be completely honest. Flamey just eliminating every single player, but there's Happy now coming back into play over on that B site. He's been super duper patient, and it's going to pay off finally now as he takes down Doja. So all of a sudden, they've got a way to get back into this one, and Flamey looking for those pot shots. He's so low, but he can't get that kill, so Smith is going to be taken down there too as he misses that op shot, and now it's all on Happy as he tries to work his way in, and only 8 seconds left too. He's got to find both both these kills, but Seas comes in from behind, shuts him down, and that's another round stolen away by Russia.
Yeah, that was just a time running too low. Happy being the, ended up being the lurk actually to that B side. He gets the kill, gets on the site, but the time was just running out for them. So that's Russia picking up that 4th round.
And I think Happy's play over there too was a very big key, and overall the play at B was a very big key as to why we saw that go so long for France. I think they were waiting to see just how many players were on that B side, and Happy was just, let me get a kill, let me figure out how many guys are here, and then you can make that take on A. But they just ran so low on time that they had to force it, and unfortunately that got a little bit messy for France. But this time at least, now their economy is going to be in a bit of a tough spot. They are able to go for a Tech 9 armor buy, of course. Shock's over here as well, still rolling with that AK, so they've got a little bit more firepower into the mix, but for the most part, it looks like they're just going to commit, at least for the time being, over here to trying to work into mid-con and then over onto the A site.
As Seized going away from that very scary situation, actually. Could have got him caught off guard there, but manages to escape the situation.
You're looking for players to come back up as he goes for the timing on the spray, but nobody on France is going to get hit by that one. And Seized actually in a very, very risky position. And oh my goodness, Smith just wraps right out, picks up the headshot over onto Seized, and now Hooch looking for a response. He's going to find it back over on Shox, and they are a little bit smoked up, but there's Apex again rounding another corner, and another Tech 9 headshot to shut down Hoocher, as at least 3 left alive here from Russia. And again, France taking partial control, but they're not happy with this just yet. And there's Flamey creeping through the crawl space there, picking up 2 kills for himself. Apex finds one for France, and this brings it into a 2-on-2. But Doshi's on the flank. He's going to be able to find Apex now, and he jumps up onto the site. It's going to surround NBK. He can't handle that, and Russia do manage to save it after all.
Yeah, huge play from Flamey there. He got those 2 incredibly important frags to stop that attack. But again, another example of why with France, you can never count them out. Having Tech 9s doesn't really matter. They can still make things happen, but it was all Flamey basically helping that happen. Look at this. Mitch is going to be just destroying Seas here. It's a boom headshot.
We saw another one right over here too from Hooch. There's him picking up kills, but unfortunately he got shut down just a few moments after that from another round the corner headshot off the Tech 9.
So that's going to be putting France in a save round here. So this gives Russia a possibility to make some bank.
As we take a look at it, a very, very slowly played France, and even Russia here with no respect on that, when the molly goes over here into upper drop, and then right over that, past that, they put a smoke in there as well. So that's going to hold that back for a couple extra moments, just in case they reverse boosted. I don't think France is going to want to take a risk. They've got to try to save every single player they can here to make this big solidified push into one of these sites.
And look at this, Russia with just Seized alone towards the A side. Everyone else toward that B side. If he gets picked off early, that could be troublesome for the Russians.
I think they're catching on to this, though, as we do see somebody rotating over to the A site just to have a little bit extra support. And that grenade did a lot of damage there, too. But Seas so far holding his own, takes a little bit of damage, but not enough in order to take him down. He's still able to retreat pretty nicely out of there. But take a look at Hoocher, actually. Gets flashed to the face, so Happy's going to be able to find a way inside a drop. Now Flamey, though, is on this pretty big flank right now and might come in a huge way. Dropping down, they're not expecting him, so Flamey's going to be able to take down Shox. That's going to kill that movement coming in through connector over onto that A site once again. But Happy's still alive on the lurk, but not looking to his left there. And there we go. World, that's going to be able to take him down. And Russia pretty much having full control of the situation at this point. However, you take a look at the movement coming out from them. They're moving on to that B site, and Russia's not fully aware of this. They still think it's coming to A, so there's really only one player here to defend this, and that's going to be Undosha.
He goes down as well. So this means that France is going to get that bomb plant. That's going to help him a lot going down further on this half, especially the next round. Next kill, wow, MBK, what happened?
NBK just gets that one time, and look at Smith too! He's doing some damage, he shuts down Flamey, so now it's a 2-on-1 in the hands of World Edit here. Pushes through, finds the first one, but MBK's now got a rifle. However, his HP's so low and no armor workers, but he pops out and kills World Edit anyway! So France steal that round away, back and forth again. So Russia and France stay neck and neck at a 5-4 scoreline.
Wow, 2-on-4 was it, and you thought, the best case scenario, they get the bomb plan, it's going to help them going on this round, but nope, they were just like, nah, we're going to win it. MBK, I'm just going to destroy you guys. There you go, that's going to be putting Russia in an awkward spot. They have World Elite on AWP, and the rest of the players on pistols. So that could have been a huge difference maker. MBK, another huge kill on World Elite.
And nicely done upon that. Seized, of course, having to take a step back and smoke that up. He is close, of course, to the body of his teammate, so he can still pick up that up, and that will still be in play for the Russians at this point. And as we take a look now, that push is coming in back over here through A long, and they're going to go right for this take. As they work their way in here, we can see that, unfortunately for Toshin Seas, they just get shut right down here. And that leaves it only on 2 pistol players left alive, and they're completely smoked off, so there's absolutely nothing they can do. Apex, he's got eyes over here on this balcony. I'm sure somebody's going to attempt to sneak it, but he's very well aware that somebody could come from that direction. So look at Apex, though, getting a little bit greedy, actually going to move in, and he gets dropped down to 59, so he's got to be careful of that. Manages it nicely, though, and picks up the kill over onto him, but Flamey, not expecting 2 players to be back over there by the hut, picks up an extra kill, but again, that's easily managed by the French, and they're going to tie things up now.
Yeah, Russia's going to be on a A run here. France not dropping, just dropping one player in that round as well. It's going to help them a lot going further. Again, just building that economy for them. And wow, it's just the individual plays from France. This is what's making a difference. Like we speculated before the match, those kind of situations that really makes a difference in the close matches.
And Russia being completely reset at this point too. Essentially a full save for them. We've got maybe 1 or 2 P250s in the mix here, looking at Seized and Flamey, but beyond that, they're completely saving at this point. Looking at France, they've got everything they need, so I expect this to be a walkover round for France.
Yeah, they're just showing me Shoxy here, trying to see what's going on towards his B side. Same thing, rinse and repeat from France.
And as we take a look at how they're going to be working their way into these sites again, it's been that quintessential strategy that we've seen so often from the French here, and it's working out great for them. They split 2-3, baiting all of the attention back over here towards the B site. Meanwhile, 3 players are confidently pushing into A, and even those, although we are going to see a couple kills picked up here by Russia, it still only leaves 2 alive, and that real push coming into A. They're still being flanked out here as well. As you take a look back over there inside of the castle, Apex is still alive through drop, and he's about to come down there and take down 2 of these players as well. So they may not even get the chance. They do have those AKs, so they can still work something a little bit, but they're still not expecting him to come in at all here.
No, yeah, the best case scenario right now for Russia is to just save these 2 AKs. Their economy is really limited, so that would help them getting a lot of more nades for that next round. That could help them on way to winning that one, but there you have it. France going to be picking. It's going to be 6-5. It was looking really good for Russia, actually. It was looking like they're going to be picking up a very decent CT half, but it was that eco round that really changed things, and France, are they going to be running away with it? That's the question.
And ever since they got those guns in their hands, they have been a little bit more dominant on that, but Russia definitely has been fighting back here, definitely has had a little bit of prowess to steal away a few of these rounds from the French, and I don't think they're going to be done just yet here. They're still going to need potentially one more round. We take a look, actually, they might be good to just force, it's going to be forced a little bit here when we take a look at it, but they should still be pretty confident in their buy coming up for this round.
Yeah, no op is going to be the thing for Russia as well, so it's a good thing they got to save those 2 AKs. Like we see, that enables them to buy a lot more nades than they would have had they not saved those 2 weapons, so that's always going to be helpful.
And you take a look at France too, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 players. France is not really in a comfortable spot as of yet, so they can maybe make it through one more forced round after this, and they're going to have to eco as well. So Russia, they have a really good chance to shut down France here before they can build up too strong of an economy as well. But we're going to see them going right for this here on the French side of things. Shoxy trying to move forward, but he's not counting on World being right behind that corner. The patience, he ends up unfortunately getting a trade. Smiths as well picks up the extra kill for France, so they're going to end up coming out 2 for 1, and they'll have a man up here.
Yeah, that was a perfect situation for France, making sure they're trading those kills. It's going to be a 4-on-3 situation because of it. And that's always going to be hard for the CTs. It's going to be a guessing game for them. They need to do some risks, and they need to take some decisions on what they want to do. Seems like they're going to be opting to have 2 people towards that B bomb side, have just 1 guy pushing it on those side halls, and Dosha on this B platform is going to be the man of the hour if Russia wants to win this round.
And he's going to be wide out in the open once again as soon as he overexposes himself. Gets 1, but traded out immediately there by Apex. So the French picking up that extra kill, and they still keep themselves in a confident position. But Hooch, as you can see, on a pretty big flank right now. I don't think the timing's going to end up working out, especially with Apex picking up that stellar headshot there, shutting down Flamey. And as well, Happy can even see this coming. But Hooch does find that response kill over onto Happy at the very least. But now they know exactly where he's coming from, and this is going to make it all the more difficult. So he's got 1 smoke to work with, not a whole lot of confidence, unfortunately. And this is going to be very, very tough, to say the least.
Yeah, the positioning from the French players, it's going to be very hard for Hooch right here, sneaking through. Oh, does Apex see him?
Actually finds that 1 kill there, so he might have a chance of this as he tries to work his way over. Gets through chicken coop, but Apex spots him though on the left side. Can't get the kill though for some reason. That spray not connecting to where it needs to, but now that timer's running down. Goes onto the bomb to force the fake, but Apex comes right out, shuts it down anyway. And the French again do escape by a very, very thin margin.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the difference between a huge half from France and a good half from Russia, actually, as it's going to be another save for Russia here. It's going to be more than likely 5-8 scoreline going into that next weapon round, so some all things that matter at this point.
And do you think at this point here, too, with the buy that's gone into it, do you think that this is a smart decision here to go and force it up at this point, or?
I mean, this is a high risk, high reward, I guess, type of things, but the fact that France still has money to buy on next one, regardless of what happens here, so I mean, you could argue you can produce like 8 to 9 rounds on the T side anyway, so I'm not really sure it's worth it.
We'll see exactly how that pans out for them, though, in a few moments here. As Dosha might have an opportunity to pick up a kill, as we are seeing those players forced out, but he unscopes at just the wrong time. So Shoxy is going to find the initiation to get out, smoking over to the left, too, but he's still got to be careful, as he's got a very, very thin use of cover here. And Flamey comes in. He does pick up the kill, and that's going to shut down the first player over here from France. Hoocher now moving in, too, and he's got that Mag 7 to work with. Finds the first shot, shuts down Happy, and there's an extra kill now. So it may just have been worth it here, but now in comes Apex, too, as they're working their way back over here to try to get a little bit of control of the A site. World At It still sitting over here on the platform itself, and they don't realize he's here yet. So as they push forward, thinking it's secure, they're gonna have to be careful with this. Now they spotted No, but he finds one kill, hiding behind the shed, looking for a second on NBK, and he's not gonna be able to, actually, no, he does pick that one up. So he's gonna hold on for now, and he's looking for that third as well, but he's gonna run, and this is a good decision because he keeps it safe, doesn't kill himself. We know how much they forced up at this point. We'll get forced into it, but now his teammates come into play, and Flamey takes not only one death for the Russians, and considering that was forced, that's a very, very clean round from the Russians overall.
Yeah, even C's went down on that A side very early. World Edit playing super smart, paying those 2 kills, and then just wasting time for the rest of the French players, letting that rotation come in from the rest of the Russian lineup. So, yeah, just a great play from World Edit, and they make that first buy work. It's going to be a 6-7 scoreline.
Probably these 2 rounds left here in our first half to work with. We'll see just how this is going to end up very, very soon as Russia starting to pick up a couple extra rounds here, and again, starting to swing back a little bit here. And as we see, though, for some reason, Doja just goes for this blind peek over there towards the broken wall and immediately shut down by NBK. And even if he didn't find it, I'm sure somebody else would have. Now they go directly for this take, though, and Flamey again just shutting them down with this rifle. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Happy finds a response, but it doesn't even matter at this point, as now he's locked into a 1-on-3, and Flamey looking for that ace inside a drop, but I don't know if he's going to get the opportunity to do so, as he's pushing out, and once again here now, unfortunately stuck in between, but it will be seized to close it out. And what a round from Flamey.
First you see that brain fart from Dosia, not really sure what he was trying to accomplish there, but Flamey, I mean, just pure aiming, like that was all, just great shots. I mean, that's all there is to it, really. And he's the one that's leading on the scoreboard as well. He's the one that's dragging Russia along right now with 22, 3, and 9 scoreline.
And this is going to leave France in an extremely awkward bye going into the final round. They've got plenty of utility to work with, but in terms of guns, well, again, they're forced onto a Tech 9 armor buy with the exception of NBK. So we'll have to see what they can work with. They pull up some very impressive shots with those Tech 9s the last time we used it, but they're going to have to do it once again. World Edit completely whiffing that first shot there, so that's going to reveal his position. But he corrects it on the second one, connects it over on the Smiths, but there's Shoxy round in the corner. He's going to be able to take down World Edit right after that, and now C's waiting for War to come out through A long here. NBK is going to be able to pick up that kill over on the C's as well. Hoocher looking for a couple players, but no! France just rolls right in here, and now it's Doja's the final player alive, and he's got an op to work with. I'm not sure if there's going to be an AK on the ground with him, or an AK or an M4 on the ground anywhere around him, so they're going to have to be very, very careful how they work this here. Doja finds one, working his way, and he's got a lot of flashes and a lot of smokes to work with here as he pushes forward, but unfortunately going to be stuck out in the open. He does actually kill him with an nade too, moving back in, but he can't find that kill with a pistol. So Happy is going to take him down, and France will lead very, very closely here coming out of the first half.
That was the half of individual performances there. It was just back and forth, both teams just displaying these crazy shots. But I think the big mistake there in that round was World Edit should have fallen back earlier. He got picked off. He got one kill, right, but then he got traded away. He noticed there's Tech 9s. He should have just fallen back all the way back to the site. Could have been a totally different situation for them had he done that.
That could have left, of course, the players from Russia in the lead here at this point, but it doesn't do so. And we saw, again, there's so many rounds where we just saw some very questionable things from the Russian series, specifically from Doja, too, playing over by that broken wall. So things like that, I'm not sure what's going on, but hopefully they can take a step back here and correct that going into the second half.
At least it was a decent half from Russia. It could have been on way worse, losing that eco and everything, but, you know, they can thank Flamey for obviously for keeping it really this close at this point. But here we go. It's going to be the pistol round. Seems like it's going to be a Pete push coming from Russia.
And they're going to go right in for it now as we can see Hoocher dropping down. He picks up the first kill over onto NBK, and actually they pull out the knife a little bit for some reason there, but that doesn't really end up going so well. So that leaves it pretty dominantly for Russia now into a 4-on-2. Apex and Shox are going to be the final 2 left alive at this point, but as we can see, nothing being picked up here from France at all. Shox is going to look to maybe find this kill over onto World Edit, but he's safely falling back now. And unfortunately, Shox, he just doesn't seem to have the confidence to push forward and look for, at the very least, that one kill here, as we will more than likely be looking at Russia picking up this first round here in the second half.
Yeah, Shox is still trying to make a cause of this. There's 2 of the Russian players that are pretty low, actually, so never know. But he has no kit. He has an armor, though, but the best case scenario right now is just picking up some kills. Which he does, though. He's picking up seized as well.
Now as he presses forward here, he's going to have to look for him, but I think Russia have learned their lesson at this point. They know he's going to be confident on that aim, so don't push it anymore. He's going to have to go directly on that site to look for the fuse, and there's absolutely no time left, so go ahead.
Yeah, and that's Russia picking up the second pistol round. They both picked up both ones now. Basically, both teams did the same T-strat on pistol. But this time around, France actually had players pretty aggressively towards that drop room, and that's what paid off for Russia.
And this is going to be great again to allow Russia to build up a round score a little bit here, as we did see those problems start to show a little bit more in the gun rounds. But as we take a look here from France, they're going to go for, I believe that's 2 Deagles coming into the mix, 5 7s as well. So they are going to go directly for the buy here to try and stop Russia before they can build anything up.
Yeah, this is just an envy move to make as well. This is what we're always used to seeing. So let's see if it pans out for them.
And Apex here, unfortunately, getting flashed very, very early on as Russia, again, just go directly for the take at this point. Apex looking for the shot, but it's actually going to be NBK that finds the opening one. Back over onto Flamey. That takes him down. Apex, though, does final wall completely flash, shuts down World at it, and now Smith's looking for more, too. They hold on to this, and they're pressing forward. Doja so far with the only kill, but no! That's it! France steal it right back on completely with just pistols, and they're going to pick up the second round.
They have the only lineup I would think that you can actually suggest in this situation to do that second round buy, and they make it work. They just destroy Russia. It just goes straight into that B bomb side. I'm not really a great fan of that. They should have really tried to roam the map more, get some information on what's going on. Instead, they try to push that B bomb side directly and just get dismantled by the French lineup.
And as you take a look at the kills there too, as those were just up on the screen a moment ago, I mean, you're looking at some huge frag leaders for Russia and a couple underperformers, to be honest. So
that's going to be a forced buy from Russia. Happy speaking up World to start off with, so it's a great start for France.
Again, here they are going to have that opening advantage, but Russia now are going to go for this Tech 9 buy as they try to work their way in, mainly through drop, but everybody from France, as you can see, there's so much pressure surrounding this one. It's going to be such a hard take for the Russians to make. Happy waiting just around this corner as Doja plays around with it. One's coming in through the window, too. Apex already picking up 1 kill there. Happy and Smith finding 2 more, and Happy with the final one. It's a completely clean round from the Frenchies, and they're going to pick it up now 10-8 against Russia.
Yeah, I mean, when you do a buy like the Russia just did, you need to try and force trade kills, but they didn't manage to do any of that. I think France need to lose a single player or so, maybe one. I mean, obviously, that's not good for you. So that's going to be France in a very hefty lead at this point. And money on Russia's side, obviously, is going to be very low. So right now, they really do want to get that bomb plant.
Apex pressing forward here again, looking for those early kills. No respect at all, and he finds it. The bomb drops there as well, so that's another huge pickup. But there's Doja. He gets a response back over onto Shocks. And that is going to leave it not as a completely futile situation yet for the Russians, but we do see again here now, they go way over here towards long A, and I'm pretty sure France has spotted this from a mile away. They see this coming in a very big way, but look at this position from C's. Ooh, a little close there, but he is able to find that kill over onto Happy. And now NBK, though, he's going to push forward through mid-con, finds the trade, and it will stay even for now again, but the Russians all lined up, trying to work their way over onto this A site, but the French are just so aggressive. NBK onto Doja and Flamey, shutting down those two, and all of a sudden this offensive just completely crashing as it leaves Hoocher alive with only a Glock.
Yeah, great intuition from MBK doing that push. And it's going to be Hooch here sneaking his way up. Is he going to get the surprise Apex?
He's going to have to be ace on with those headshots there. As we can see Apex getting ready for this one. Does not expect him to be creeping into rally, but Huzair corrects the aim at just the right time there. So thankfully he's going to be able to pick up that kill. And now we see the French really establishing a lead, which to be honest, they've really struggled to do even in that first half. Now they've got it going. It's a pretty good about a 3-round lead at this point. So what do you think? What do you think we have to see Russia do from here?
Yeah, this is the point where they'll have to pick up a round. If they don't, then I think it's going to be game over pretty much. So they just need to try to get similar to what France was doing, try to get that first pick and try to make sure that France has to keep 3 players toward that B bomb side. So it applies some pressure there, but at the same time try to take some ground towards that A side.
They're going to work. They're actually going to do something similar to what France was doing on a lot of their T-sided halves. A little bit more of an emphasis over here onto the B site take, and again, they're keeping that ball over towards middle, but the French actually pushed up pretty aggressively too, back over to where these players are moving over towards mid. But Flamey, in the meantime, is going to find that first kill. We see Smith just tried to blindly push through that smoke with the assistance of a flash. Flamey finds the kill anyway. It's such a close quarters engagement. He's going to pick that one up, and now we see them working their way over here, trying to take control of the B site, and everybody from France is taking the bait on this. They're trying to rotate into assist with this. It's going to be Happy and C's picking up a couple response kills. Hoocher finds another one as well as he shuts down Happy, but Shocks finds that one over onto Hoocher. So for the time being here now, Russia maintains that illusion, but I think the French are starting to catch on to this now. They've moved themselves over towards drop. They're trying to check things out there, but as we take a look again, that take is still coming over onto the A site, and they've expected it to happen, but they're still not counting on another player being back over here by B. They're used to their own sort of strategy at this point, so Apex is going to be stuck over here inside of the drop entryway. He's going to have to fight Seized. He does take him down, but now he's going to be stuck in a 1-on-2, and they're working their way on the side. It's actually a pretty slow take, so Apex, he does have a decent amount of time to still get in here, but unfortunately gets smoked off through the doors, but he's going to go right for it anyway here, working through. He's got the up, interestingly enough, but Doja just shuts him down with a headshot from the AK, and Russia will finally pick up a round here on their T side.
Yeah, Russia left the bomb all the way back down the middle, not really making a decision until the very, very late stages of the round. That was Flamey first going towards that B bomb site. getting that kill on Smits, I don't know what Smits is really doing there, to be honest with you. A bit of a brain fart move for him as well. That was Flamey getting to that site, and then the kills going back and forth, the bomb not being committed to either the bomb site, being the saving grace for Russia, eventually going to that A site.
And the French economy is still in a fairly good position at this point, so they are going to be able to afford another buyout for themselves, not really missing anything at all, so still in a great spot for these guys. Russia, of course, actually not in the best position when you look at what Tucher has. He's still down on a Tech 9, and the utility being a little bit limited here for them as well.
Yeah, because they only had 2 guys to survive the previous round. That's a big difference here. So in terms of economy, this is a huge round for Russia.
We can see here that these 2 players are going to be very, very close, but Apex tries to use that angle. Douche just shuts it right back at him there. He's going to pick up that kill over onto Apex, and now the Russians, again, they're going to have the opening initiative. But again, France as well has to figure out where exactly this is going to come from, as they're playing this as a very open game. Shox will take the position of his teammate that just fell a few moments ago, but it doesn't look like they want to take the chance on it, and World it there. He picks up another kill. He's going to shut down Shox, and that French defense slowly getting limited more and more here as they have to spread it out. But Smith holds the broken wall angle for the time being. He's going to take down Flamey, and Russia still being very, very, very slow about this take. Now finally solidifying it over here towards Drop as they work their way into it. NBK is going to have to hold it, and he's caught it a perfect time for the Russians there too. Wide out in the open. Now Smith back over there by the statue. There's nothing he can do to get behind cover. Seas did pick up, or apologies, he did pick up 1 kill, I should say, but that's all he's really going to be able to get in this round. Happy, now alive. There's no way in heck he's going to be able to make that retake. He's got to save, he's got to run away. He's got to look to save that M4 because the economy from the French will be broken after this point.
Yeah, Russia just working on those picks again. They get the first 2, and that's what really paid off for them in the end. And they're really taking their time in every round, right? That's for sure. They're grinding out the time to like 25 seconds or so. Some sort of a Navi-esque thing they're doing here, but it seems to be working for them so far. So that's a very, very important round for Russia as well. Going to be putting them in the double digits, and just like we said, it's going to be great for the economy as well. They have 3 players surviving this round, potentially, unless Happy can do something about it.
Happy creeping in. He's looking to get those kills, but I don't think he spotted Seas. Somehow didn't see him, so they're trying to play Ring Around the Rosie here, but nobody's going to find anybody. Both players will stay alive near the end of it. We will be looking at least 1 rifle in the mix here for the French coming into the 22nd round.
Yeah, let's see what France opts do here. Seems like they're going to be saving potentially. MBK does pick up a Max 7 and armor. That is justifiable, I guess, considering the money he had and the impact he could have it with that weapon.
And obviously, we'll probably see him played right over either here in Drop or going over to Broken Wall. They are going to put him up, and they may double boost him, but we'll see as well here as the Russians may try to make a pretty quick push over towards his direction. So for the timing, he's just going to stick over here and look for some aggression to come from Russia through that angle. And if they get the bomb, that could be a great thing too, because Russia has been wanting to play for Drop for so long, but they just haven't been finding a very good opportunity. So if they sort of leave it open and just let him do his job there with the shotgun, it could be really great for him to pick up a couple extra kills.
Yep, France here is stacked up with 4 people that are that B bomb site. Seems right now that that's where Russia is going to be working towards, so could get hairy here. This kill here, if Dosha picks up some Shox, could be big.
Shox is waiting for it, and he lines it right up there, eliminates Dosha. That's another AK going into the hands of the French. They're getting upgraded a little bit, and now they get scattered out. They know that nothing else is going to be coming A, so they have this 4-man defense over here on the B side is going to be completely justified. But Apex is getting a little bit aggressive, but he actually pays off, gets the trade kill there, shuts down Flamey, but Seas finds the response, and now we've got that shotgun coming into play there too. That's going to be the Mag 7. NBK taking down Hoocher, and I believe that's the bomb also falling at this point too. Actually, looks like they might still have control of it as well, but Seas finds another one for the Russians. He's going to be able to take down Smiths and roll that, and Seas will be the final 2 left alive, still with control of the bomb, but with only 30 seconds left. It looks like they may try to make a hasty rotation over towards A, but this is going to be very, very close indeed. Morlanet still getting himself into a little bit of a firefight to hold the attention over here of the French, and it's actually working quite nicely when you take a look at it. Like I said, that timer is going to be a little bit close, and he actually still finds that kill over onto Happy as well. So all this time is coming. He actually still has plenty of time to get that plan, about 5 extra seconds. So that's going to end up going down. They've now finally figured out what's happening because of just how low that timer has gotten. But now he's got the hold of the site. He's got to be careful, but he actually blindly jumps out. He finds a kill, but now it's a race for Worldet to get into a position to stop this. He's taking the long path though. He's moving back over there. That's going to leave it open. But you look at Shox, it's going to be a full defuse coming out from him. He doesn't have a kit to work with right now. And in comes Worldet and shuts it down with the up. And that's another round for Russia.
What a save there. That plant position for Seas that he took was the most important factor in that round. That was a great place from him, planning it so that it could be visible from basically from any angle. So that was a different maker here, and Worldet being able to do the last kill there. It's going to be, that was so close from going to France as well.
everybody going for the vibes at this point, though, with the French, of course, going for that sort of respected save when you look at how the way it went for themselves there. You can look at, again, they're not really going to be missing utility. Shocks, of course, a little bit less than that because he's picked up the op, but Russia fully armed to the teeth at this point, and they're ready to move in for it. They line up for that 3-2 split, though, and there's going to be 2 back over, 1 staying way over to the back of middle, and the 3 again trying to push their way into the B site and draw the attention of the French defense. As far as, again, this push is coming out here, no real progress being made on it yet on either side here. We can see the Russians, just of course, we're still very early on in the round, just waiting for those initial smokes to go away from the French, waiting for their opportunity to open up here. And Shocks, again, actually getting a little bit of patience there as he potentially is looking for something back over here towards long A to see if any of the Russians are going to be camping out here. Same thing for Apex, too, as he looks back around. That flash comes out from Dosha, does reveal that at least one player is going to be messing around here, and he's got that crosshair trade right on it as he starts to fall back a little more. But still, the Russians not having made a solid decision yet, but we can see those players back over there from middle are now starting to regroup the players over towards B to make the site take there.
Yeah, nothing so far really happened. No kills being traded. It's only 40 seconds left, so Russia has to make a move. It's going to be these are the kind of situations that they've made falter in because of lack of leadership in the team. See if they make it work. It's a great flash to initiate Smiths, but not being able to pick that kill. MBK though, getting those 2 kills.
Looking for a third, but it's actually going to get taken down there by Hoocher. And we've got Smiths, too, actually spotted this initially and called this one out. And I can't believe Russia hasn't committed to this fully just as yet. They're sneaking out, but they're looking for the kills. And the French know that they could just take this timer solo 15 seconds. And they're still not even on the site yet. Finally, C's picks up a kill, but now in comes Apex over there. And we still got another one in Chicken Coop, too. We're going to see Flamey finding the kill, but Happy from within the Chicken Coop finds an extra kill and is looking for that final one. Hoocher only 2 HP, and it's going to be Happy that picks up the final kill with only 2 seconds left on the clock.
I think that this is going to be the big problem for Russia. If the timer goes down all the way to like 40 seconds or so, if there's been no kills done, that's when they're going to be faltering. That's when the decision making is going to be the key factor. And as we could see there, it didn't work at all for Russia there. MBK getting all those kills on and drop, and then things were real sound with. So that's going to be France picking up another round.
And we look at the French, actually, again, their economy is still not really in too good of a spot. It's the same thing for Russia, granted, but they're still having to go for a little bit of these awkward buys with NBK once again going back to the Mag 7. It worked brilliantly when they picked it up last time. He at the very least picked up a kill, and of course, with the amount of money you get on the kills from that gun, it pretty much justifies the cost in itself. But now we're going to have to see how this pans out. As Smith tries to do something with the UMP, gets very, very close to killing Flamey, but he ends up coming out on top with only 7 HP. Now for the rest of the team, too. Lining up and getting ready for that take to come back over here. A lot of emphasis over here, at least from Hoocher on working towards drop, but NBK still in there. I think Hooch may have been able to spot him, though, when he went for that jump just a moment before, and the nades are coming down now. They're trying to force him to fall back a little bit. It's going to work for the time being. And Dosha also looking to work towards long A, where the actual take is going to be happening now. Everybody rotating in, and this is happening a lot earlier this time, too, in France. They're not going to be ready for this one. They still have a lot of their players on B. Shocks has called it out, but Shocks with the op is stuck over here inside of the staircase, and I know they're going to make a push for him here in just a second. Thankfully, he got that Molly out, so that's going to hold the push out for a little bit longer, and Apex 2 shutting down some of the players that are on the site. But Shocks with the shot to the face. He also found another one on the Dosha. Apex picking up Hoocher, and they just shut it down.
Yeah, Russia right there getting to do anything. It is just dismantled by France, and that's going to be shattering Russia's economy as well. Going to be putting France at 13-11. So, yeah, look at these shots. Oh, we're not going to miss it. There we go. Flamey going down.
The first one, of course, being very nice, too. I mean, I thought he was going to be dead meat with the position he was in. He was smoked off from both angles initially and stuck in that little tiny room with an op to work with. Amazing that he managed to pick up the 2 kills that he did. So that's a big win from France there. And now they're going to be in a very, very safe position. As you said, this has broken the Russian economy. They don't have anything going into this round. No armor, no utility to work with at all. They've got to rely completely on entries and hope that they can actually make this take happen here. And if not, Russia's going to be at a safe 14 points, just 2 more away from closing out this first map.
Yeah, the big key Russia would like to have is a bomb plant, but the big problem is they don't have any grenades. And Shoxy getting that second pick as well. It's not going to make things any easier for them either. So, yeah, it's not looking promising on this round for Russia.
And Apex already pushed forward. He knows there's not anything immediately outside of the T-Con doors here, and now getting so much info as to what's happening in the middle. He might get taken out by C's, but what the heck was C's looking at? He gets the kill anyway over there on the Apex. Takes him down, and for some reason, that kill is going to happen, so that reopens the way back in. But Shocks is still a factor back over here towards long A, and I believe him and C's might have an encounter in just a second, and there we go. Shocks finds the kill, and Smith's now coming into play here as well. He's going to pick up an extra frag over here into Doja. Everybody's pretty much rotated in, and they've locked themselves around World Edit, so this round should go pretty smoothly for the French from this point forward.
Yeah, thoughts are already towards that next round. To Russia, Smith's picking up on World Edit as well, so it's going to be 14-11 France. Big key for Russia is they need to make those first kills happen pretty early on. They have to try and force them. Either it's towards that B bomb side, either it's towards that A bomb side. Just you have to force them. If the clock winds down, that's when the troubles happen for Russia.
And this is going to be potentially one of the last really confident buys coming out from the Russians here, with the French sitting at 14 points here, 1 round away from being a match point in Russia. If they flunk this one away without really saving too much, they're not really going to be able to, they can probably squeak by with their AKs potentially, as they're getting pretty close to the full losing bonus, but utility is going to be very, very weak. We've already seen the troubles of that in the past here in these few rounds, and French again getting so aggressive here. Apex just pushes forward, Doja finding that kill. Shock's getting ready for another one too. He does light him up, but it's not going to find it, and Hoocher as well, but we can actually see Shock is in a very good bad position. He finds a kill with an A, but is going to get shut down by Flamey. Now NBK comes in, and him and World Edit are going to trade a couple blows to bring it down into a 2-on-2. That bomb still lurking back over here by Drop, and they still have a player from the French initiated over here, so they can still hold it off for the time being, but they're going to have to be very, very careful with the way this is played, because if C's goes down and World Edit being nowhere near him at this point, then that's going to be absolutely detrimental. And those final 2 French players, all they're going to have to do is hold control of that bomb.
Yeah, as you can see right now, France actually has nobody in that B bomb site. So see what decision here C's does. He's going to be sneaking down that drop room, and World Edit here sneaking up mid. He's going to get past. He's seen the connector. Oh, the timing is real.
But we can see that rotation coming off now from the bomb carrier there too. Seized is working his way over, so he gets this all clear signal, but they're still going to commit to that A site. World Edit, I think, just trying to figure out what's up on top, but he can't get the kill anyway. All that work for nothing. Happy finds the frag over onto World Edit, and now Seized stuck in a 1-on-2. He knows the player on the site, but he has absolutely no clue where this final player is back over on B, and is going to have to be very, very cautious as he moves forward here. He can't really pay close attention to that, but he does find the kill, so again, it's going to work out in his favor. Reduced HP, but he'll have the time to plant this bomb. We're going to see that rotation coming out here from Smiths, and they'll be left into that 1-on-1 to close things out here in this round. Smiths pushing right forward here. The flash is actually absolutely perfect there, as it forces C's to hide over here behind the shed, and we can see C's too just basically waiting. He wants it to take it right on. The pop flash comes out. It's not really going to connect too well there, and again, just gives away exactly where he's hiding from, but he actually picks up the shot there. C's will close it out for the Russians, and now they're going to keep themselves in this now. They're not done just yet. 12-14, 2 rounds behind the French, and again, that's going to be very, very good here as we take a look at the French apologies here. They are going to still be able to go for the buy up this round, but if they make it through one more, then they'll probably be able to pick up that tie point here, as they'll be at 13-14, and the French won't really be able to go for too confident of a buy, as they themselves have been having a lot of trouble with sustaining that economy. Yeah,
Russia keeping up a high pace, making sure there's trade kills, and that's what really has benefited them at this point. But it's Shoxy picking out that first kill. That could be huge, as the economy for Russia is in a very bad situation as well.
You can see a little bit of progress has been made here by C's too, as he's pushed over here towards the box by Broken Wall. They're not going to be able to spot him out just yet, and again, they're really, really thinking that it's going to be coming back over towards Day. C's will make a little bit of noise though, and that's going to keep the attention on B, so this is great from C's to keep all the play back over here. Those mollies though are definitely going to force them away from the Broken Wall area and way back over there to the plat entry point. The rest of Russia though, again, rotating over here to fight into that one, so they could potentially still go for this B take, with a lot of the French emphasis being back over here towards this. There's a lot of players floating in between the site connector right now. They've moved an additional player over Day, but with 3 still on the site ready to hold it, it might end up getting a little bit rough for Russia here, especially with them still being a man up.
Yeah, they're still not decided. It's closing up down to that 40 mark. NBK, it's getting Molotov. It's going to have to fall back, so that means Russia's getting that drop room control. See if that makes a difference.
But still no commitment from Russia on this. They're now finally jumping down over and onto this. They move in for this one. Happy is just completely waiting for somebody to move over towards the window. Thankfully, it won't happen, but NBK has even been given time, too, to get himself back over towards us. And now Happy jumps up, picks up the first one, going to look for the second here. A little bit of trouble with that one, so C's will get the trade, but Shoxy also finding a kill over onto Hoocher, and NBK as well also going to fall. So the Russians, they're not going to be out of this one just yet, and that bomb also sneaking in from long A here, too, but I think the Opera may have got onto this one. Shox is waiting for the pop, but he can't find it. Dosha runs right out. He finds the headshot over onto Shox, and now they've got a way to get onto the same bomb set, but there's only 10 seconds left, so we've got to see that plant coming out here from Doja. Thankfully, it's going to happen, and it all falls into his hands here over on Smith. He finds the first kill, and Doja comes right out. He picks up another kill, and now that's going to be 13-14. So close for Russia to maybe stealing this away and upsetting the French. They've been doing so good on their CT side, but now it's all falling apart.
So many small things here, as we can see Happy making this jump into that drop room. Seems to cost an NBK not landing this shotgun shot either. And that's what gives an opportunity. You see he's picking up those 2 kills. And then Dosha cleaning up into the end. And that's going to be putting France in an awkward position now, because they're going to be on the save. It's going to be Smith with a scout. They have a deagle on NBK, the Apex, and Shoxy have 5-7. So never count them out with those weapons, though. So see how this pans out.
We already saw what could happen, of course, but they went for the second round buy here in this half, just how potent they could be with a very limited arsenal. So this could very well still be around for the French here, but Russia, at least they're looking at it blindly. they're still going to have a very, very big advantage in terms of the economy at this point, but they've taken it so slow as they have been for a lot of this half so far. They know that the French economy is going to be broken at this point, so they know they might be getting a little bit desperate here and trying to go for these aggressive kills, so they don't want to force themselves into a position where we could potentially see some French presence, but there's going to be World Edit. He picks up the first kill over here onto Apex now, and there's still 2 players over there, so the Opera is going to have to be careful as he pushes forwards. World Edit here will be waiting with 2 players from the French as he rounds that corner. And as for the rest of them here, again, still not really committing to this as of yet, but that B take is starting to move forward a little bit more, and the French, again, not really moving from that yet. They're still committing to the same sites they've been holding here for this entire time, and they're just going to go, guys, we'll hold whatever we can here, and as soon as we spot something, go for the rotates, because we're not going to be moving from this point. But there's Doja again, finding the entry by Broken Wall, but Smith's not moving an inch there, picks up the kill, but immediately shut down by Flaming. No armor to hold that, so the aim punch is going to be really hard to work with at that point. Now it's just Happy and Shocks working with this one here, too. Still trying to hold it, but they're off-site, and again, there's not really a whole lot of hope to make that retake, so they're going to line up for exits and hope to do a little bit of economical damage at the very least, but this will be a round for Russia. They are going to tie it up, and they could potentially be taking the lead off the next one as well.
Dosha picking up Happy, but just, yeah, a lot better decision making from Russia this time around. Taking it slow, really just trying to feel out what France is doing, and then going to B side together, making sure that they're trading those kills. Smith's only being able to pick up 1 from that chicken house. It's going to be key, and like you said, Russia's going to be equalizing the scoreline. I think France, actually, when it comes to economy, they're not in a very, very good position, actually. Not 100% sure though.
I mean, we look at the scoreline here. They're going to be risking them being at match point. Shocks, of course, does pick up 1 kill before getting responded to by World Edit, but
they get an okay buy, I guess, but
yeah,
they'll have to make the compromises. There's not going to be an offer for France, that's for sure.
And we could have looked at again an alternate scenario where they could have just gone for the double eco here and really gone for a very big buy, but that would have been putting a lot on that 15th round. So not the best decision to go for that.
Yeah, and they would never do that. Not this lineup.
So we'll take a look at exactly how Russia will play this one out from the strategical side of things. And again, they still go for, much like France did on the first half there, they still go for this very default strategy here of sending a couple players, or in this case, just 1 back over there to the B site to make some noise. And they'll keep the bomb and the rest of their players over here towards middle to face off against any extra aggression from France, which there has been a whole lot of it here at this point. Or once more, just in case we'll still go for that A-site take, but we take a look at Shocks here. He's going to pick up the first kill over here on Dosha. Re-smokes it off after that one to prevent anybody from pushing him blindly, and if they do, he's definitely going to have the advantage. Flamey tries to find a way, but he can't pick that up. Hoocher, though, does find a kill elsewhere. World Edit Shocks just runs right in there. World Edit immediately waiting for that, takes him out, and now that's going to even things out for now. Happy as well, looking for a reposition to get himself behind the APC and see if anybody's going to come over there by that wall, but he's got to be careful of that A long push, as that's going to be moving over here towards Alley in just a second. He may be able to not catch that in a second, and that'll take him down too, but there's C's. He finds a player on site, but Happy over here behind the APC. He picks up 1 kill. Smith finds another one as well, but Hoocher takes it out of the French. But win it out at the end. They're going to pick up an extra point here, and now it'll be tied up, but the France will keep their lead. They're going to stay at 15-14, just 1 more round away from closing this map out.
These rounds, though, it's a battle up middle there. Shoxy alone pushed off. He gets the pick. And then there's someone coming, I think it was Apex coming through connector. He takes a battle. They trade a kill. Shoxy goes through a smoke. It's like a chaos left, right, and center there, but it ends up being Smith's alive as the last guy. He gets the last kill. He's going to be putting France on that match point. Both teams having not the best buys, as you can see. NBK here working with the Max 7, and on the Russian side, you have a couple pistols, you have an op, but and you have also just a few nades, so that's going to limit their options a lot.
I think the thing here when we look at the French side of this as well is they've got a lot more utility to work with, and Russia's been very, very slow. They've been very, very complacent on just sitting back and waiting for that timer to run low. So French is going to have exactly what they need to run that timer down as low as possible here, and even when it gets that low, they might even have a little bit more to just throw Russia off their game and make that site hold that much easier. And they've predicted this wonderfully. Look, they've already got 4 players holding into that B site, and that seems to be exactly where Russia's going to want to take this. But looking at the opening kills here, that Molly actually does a lot of damage over there onto Flamey, but the opening op shot actually isn't going to connect. That's going to be World, and I believe he tried to pick up that kill over onto Smiths, but it didn't really end up happening so well. So all they're really going to end up doing is trading blows for the time being, and that will verify a lot of the suspicions that's coming out for the French. This is going to be a takeover towards the B site, but 40 seconds left. That timer getting low. Still no commitment from Russia onto moving into this site just as of yet, but they're going to have to do it soon. World Edit, interestingly enough, in the front for his team at this point, and NBK waiting for players to move in from drop. Hoocher's already gone in. He misses the opening shot, so Hoocher picks it up. He's going to take down NBK. Smith's looking for a response over here now to try and take out some of these guys, but Doja and C's are going to pick up 2 more. Now all of a sudden the French are faltering, but we've got Apex still holding strong. Dropped to 9 HP after he picks up a kill over onto Hoocher, but he's going to get eliminated there by Flamey off of a Blondie headshot. Happy though, he picks up 2 more right after that over onto World Edit and Doja, and now we can see it's a 2-on-1. Happy has to come out of this one with a 4K if he wants to clutch this out for a team, otherwise we're going into OT, but it's going to be C that wins it for Russia, and we're going 15-15, tying things up.
Yeah, that was again, right, time was running out, but this time Russia made it work. MBK not being able to get those kills on drop zone, I feel like that was the biggest impact on that round going to Russia's favor, but Happy trying to make it happy in the end, but it's not working out. It's going to be Russia making it 15-15, but yeah, it's been a showcase of individual skill, I would say, throughout this map.
Every single round we've had just these crazy performances coming out here from all sorts of players. I mean, Russia, they had pretty much every single player, I think, has had pretty much an all-star round, maybe with the exception of Doja, but we had that absolutely crazy round from Flamey. We've been seeing all-star performances coming out here. World that has been doing a fantastic job working picks with himself there, too. He's been getting such clutch op shots, and the same thing can be said for the French, too, with their uppers, their riflers. They've been doing everything they need to do, but it's just been such a close, such a tight match that, of course, it absolutely justifies being tied up right now at 15 points.
Absolutely. I still feel the big difference right now is going to be the fact that if Russia isn't able to produce kills earlier in the rounds, that's when they get into troubles. They're making some hasty decisions. It's all going to be on the first kill is going to be so important for them. If they don't manage to get that, they don't have get any control, they're just going to get destroyed. So if France picks up on that, make sure that they're not giving any free kills early in the round. I think that's going to be the difference maker.
And I think that they have realized this, at least in regulation time, just so that was played out. They were playing a very, very patient CT side whenever it shifted over there towards that, very, very hold back the Russian take there back over there, where they would just sit over on the broken wall approach and just, they would try to make an entry there or hope somebody from France got a little bit over aggressive, but it never happened. They sat on the site and Russia were forced to make a take with like 20 seconds left on the clock. So for the French have caught on to this. Now it's all about just bringing it again into this first overtime half. As we see the buys, it's a double op setup from the French, which is going to be extremely risky in terms of their money. They lose this, and that's going to limit their potential, especially if Russia picks up that second round as well in a very, very big way. But if they can shut this one down, it's going to be exactly the reverse. It's going to work out great for them, and especially if they can keep both of those ops in the arsenal at the end of the round as well.
Yep, it's going to be a very similar build up here. It's Russia trying to take some mid control. No decision made, no kills traded either, and it's going to be down to 1 minute and 5 seconds at this point. Not really happening here. And France is playing pretty passively here. Apex and Sharks playing passively on that A site. It's just letting Russia walk into their arms.
And we're going to see Doja leading the charge as they go back over here towards ramp. The flash comes out. Apex, though, is wide out in the open, so Doja's going to be able to find him out. Thankfully, the trade comes over from Happy. They're going to be able to take him on. And now Happy as well trying to jump out of the doors, but Hoocher picks up the kill, and now Shoxy back over here behind the alley. He's looking for a couple more as the Russians here, they try to get their way over onto the site. It's definitely going to be a little bit rough at this point with only 2 left alive, but World that it sneaks through. He finds one, but again, it's just traded right back out by the French. Flamey, though, still in the picture by Shed. He puts it into a one-on-one. He's going to move his way out, trying to get himself onto that site, and there's still plenty of time to work with at this point, too. 30 seconds. Looking for that one-tap headshot over onto NBK, seeing if he'll get aggressive, and we can see he's over on top of that Shed right now, maybe looking to find that headshot kill, but Flamey again sneaking his way over, but I think NBK's got it. He's going to shut it down, picks up the headshot over onto Flamey, and the French will pick up the first round.
Yeah, a lot more passive approach from France, as we can see there, letting Russia get up much closer. It felt like it should have been a clear round for France, to be honest with you, but Russia somehow managing to do the trade kills and making it into 1-1, and NBK coming out on top of that. It's going to be France also salvaging one of the ops. It's going to be an auto sniper now for Smits, and it's going to be an off for Shoxy. Let's see how this works.
And this completely buys out Smith's bank too. He's got no money to work with, so we got another very big risk being taken by the French on the economy side of this at this point. But
fast mid-take coming through here from Russia.
They're going to go directly forward here, and an op shot does come out. It does some nice damage to Hoocher. And oh my goodness, from Shoxy, finishes off Doja and then takes out Hoocher as well. Flamey will find one over here from Russia as he takes down Smiths, but that double kill coming out from Shox has absolutely nullified that. And again, it's the same situation as the previous round, where even if we see these trades coming out from Russia, now France is going to be a man up regardless.
Yeah, big plays from Shoxy there. First leg shotting the first guy, killing the second guy, and then killing that leg shotted guy with that 5-7. Making it opening kills from France. Things have slowed down here. Bomb is still down there in the middle, and that's what Russia needs to make happen. First of all, take that bomb.
And they're going to try to move in here and take on NBK and the rest of this team. NBK looking for a couple shots here too, as a little bit more damage being done. We can see Flamey and World at it sitting a little bit lower, as they're going to go back to that time strategy here of just letting it run as low as possible. But again, we look at NBK. He's got a molly to hold off the approach from the door here, so they're going to have to go right through that, and there's going to be so much damage. But oh my goodness, NBK just trading that aim. He picks up the kill. It'll get traded out by C's, but now Shoxy finds another one here too, and it's all going to be at the hands of Flamey at this point in a 1-on-3 situation. And there's just nothing he can do to close it out. So Happy, a very good kill as well. He's going to take him down, and that'll be another round for France. 17-15, 2 more away from winning this map.
Yeah, a change of pace from France there. from that previous round. This time, Shoxy playing so aggressive. As you can see, these kills here, getting that first, getting that second, getting that bomb down into that awkward position. That's where the battles were after that the whole round wrong, basically. So that's it. That's going to be France picking up that second round on safety side, overtime.
And they don't even know that this auto sniper's coming to the mix yet either, as I don't even think Smith's got a chance to fire that throughout that
I don't
entire
think so,
round.
no.
So it's gonna come back into play here, and Shox looking for an opening kill. He's not going to find it, but Happy in the meantime will. He's going to be able to take down Hoocher. And now with that kill coming into play once again, as we've had in these previous 2 rounds as well, the French will open it up with an extra kill in their favor that so far isn't going to end up getting traded out by the Russians. They have nothing left to answer this through, and now Happy even getting control of drop here too, and they know this, so they're not going to blindly push into this. They're going to have to retrain themselves and not go directly into that, and regardless, Seas tries to go for it, but Happy shuts that one down as well, and Shoxy, although he misses the op shot, switches over to the pistol, shuts down World Edit, and now there's that auto sniper. Smith picking up the kill over onto Flamey, and it's just going to be Doja left lonely back over here by the broken wall, and that auto sniper is going to shut down with the second kill too. The French with a completely perfect CT side. They're going to be only 1 round away from winning here on the second half of overtime.
Yeah, that was a weird round. Russia getting just picked apart 1 by 1. No possibility for any trade kills. Now Smith's finally gets to use that auto sniper, getting 2 picks with it. And that's, like you said, it's going to be 3-0 for France. I think it feels like it's going to be very tough for Russia to make it a clean sweep on that safety side.
And it's just going to be so limited here too. They've only got that room for 1 single mistake at this point, and with just how dominant France looked here on that first half, how is Russia going to come back from this one? And we can see that they're going to try to do the same exact thing that France did, which is go for that auto sniper by. They didn't, you know, France didn't do it in the first round, but still they're going to try to replicate it here and see if they can work some magic with it.
Yeah, so we saw from the scoreboard Happy. I think Apex as well has been the 2 big fraggers for France. But let's see, here we go then. Let's see how this works for Russia. That auto sniper and an op in play.
And this is just going to be that quintessential play we saw from France in their regulation rounds over here on T-side too. The same kind of split from them. A little bit more diverse as we can take a look at in regards to where they position their players this time around. But it's still the same strategy of make a little bit noise here at B, keep the bomb and the rest of your players floating over here inside middle, so you can commit to that take if you want to, or at the same time you're in a very good position to also work for that A take.
Now it's a better choice from World that he's actually falling back and sees World that he's playing together here, making sure they're going to be able to trade a kill if that happens. Instead of playing that very aggressive position, Dosha trying to shoot through that smoke as well. Things have really calmed down with Smiths, and Dosha's picking up the kills.
But it is going to end up getting traded out evenly for the time being as Apex picks up that kill over on the Seas, and we also saw an additional op kill coming out here as well.
This is the awkward situation for CT. Is a 3-on-3. You always have to take a gamble, like we see Dosha here. I think more than anything, I think he feels like he should actually just try to gain some even more information, but at least now he can see if they're coming towards that B bomb site very early, which he does right now.
Doja's going to be left out in the open there too if he stays behind that box after getting hit, so he's going to fall back a little bit here. Doesn't want to risk it, and we've seen examples of this already like we had before with World Edit where he fell back over there through long, so he's going to move it away. Flamey does find a kill with the auto sniper, but Apex as well very quickly moving onto the site. He picks one over onto Flamey, and Happy just sneaking right through there. Gets a free kill over onto Doja, so now it's all left into the hands of Hoocher, and this is it potentially here too. If Hoocher doesn't clutch this out, this is going to be the end of the map. He leaves it into a one-on-one. Hoocher, of course, still trying to hold this one out, and we see Happy going for the bomb, but it doesn't get picked up, and Russia keep themselves alive for the time being by picking up their first round over here on the CT side.
Yeah, again, back and forth, but I think the saving grace was the fact that Dosha was peeking that long B hall, getting that information very early that the attack was coming towards that B bomb site in the end, led the CT to rotate, and in the end it was Hooch managing to do this clutch in a 1-on-1 to keep Russia's hopes alive.
And that timer ended up getting so solo there too. Some of the same problems. Happy kind of forced to pick up that bomb, so there wasn't really a whole lot of choice left for him. He could have just sat back and waited to see if there was some extra damage from Russia. But this time there is going to be a little bit of it. At least over here towards long as World Edit picks up the first kill over here on his Shoxy. Waiting for the second, but Smith is going to end up getting the trade. And now there's an up on the floor if he wants to use that as well. For previously, this wouldn't really have been a viable option for them in this round. Hoocher moving forward too, trying to get aggressive to get those trade kills. He finds one, but France respond with 2 additional ones here, but they're getting so low as Doja's in a great spot using that smoke. He picks up a kill over here onto Apex, leaves it as 2 alive for Russia, 2 alive for the French, and Smith's so low at 11 HP. He's already found 2 kills, but he might have to find another one for himself to save his teammates alive, but the Russians here, they're already ready for this, and the big thing, of course, is you're pointing out now is that the bomb already down here, just in the middle, so all the Russians have to do is train their sights onto that and hope that there isn't just this incredible pop flash that comes right in their face that allows them to pick that up. And we can see them creeping through here at this point as well. They're really trying to work that. They know how hard it's going to be, and they know that the Russians are going to be looking right after that. But they do manage to sneak through, and Smiths will end up going through to pick up this bomb here. Timer still with plenty of time left on the clock, so Happy's going to move in, but Flamey finds the responses. He's jumped up over onto that platform, so he's going to take down Happy. And now again, it's left, unfortunately, into the hands of Smiths. He's actually gone for this very long rotate, so I believe he'll be able to get the plant. And I don't think that Flamey has any idea at all this is happening. He's going to catch on in a few seconds, but he won't be able to beat the rotation.
Yeah, it's going to come down to all the timing, but definitely Smith's going to get this bomb down. He's going to be able to position himself very well as well, so it's going to be very hard for Flamey. The only thing going in his favor right now is the fact that Smiths does have only 11 HP. So let's see how this works.
And Flamey, as an important note too, also does not have a kit, and it doesn't look like he's picked one up off of one of his teammates. There may be one on the ground somewhere over here, but I highly doubt it, so we'll have to see as he works his way in. He's got no information at all, no utilities, just going blindly for this. Smith is going to look to take him down, and he's got no clue. He's going to be able to shut this one down, and he is! He's going to move right out. The French pick it up, and that's going to close things out. France win the first map here in the first overtime. 19-16 is going to be the final score.
Yeah, what a back and forth match, really. So much individual performances from players. We have Flamey going nuts, we have Shoxy going nuts, Happy obviously being on the top of the scoreboard, Flamey on the other side with 32 frags. So yeah, just being a display of just being fireworks, you could say.
Absolutely, and again, those all-star performances happening at pretty much every single opportunity for both teams there. But at the end of that one there too, a bit of an interesting play from Flamey after such a star game from him too. Just sort of sits there, hopes that it comes to that site, and leaves himself with so little time to make that actual retake there and get that bomb defused that, as he isn't given it adequate enough time to scout out the entire site, we do see there that last French player just absolutely shutting him down with an easy kill with only 11 HP too, and that's just how unfortunate it was. He was so close from being just taken down with one simple tap coming out from the AK, but it doesn't happen. And of course, guys, again, that's going to be the first map here. Next map coming up, based on what you've seen here, is going to be back over on Mirage. What do you think is going to be happening there now, based on what you've seen here in map number 1?
Like I said, the big issue for Russia is the fact that you can't produce an opening kill early on the round. They're going to be running into trouble. Mirage is a map that you really need to have that. You need to get the opening kill, so it's going to be a lot of battles in the middle, I feel like. And the aggressiveness from France, I feel like, is going to be the big difference.
Do you think as well here that there's been a little bit of a surprise in just the strength that we've seen from Russia based on what you think you were going to see versus France today?
I mean, it's always, when they have these individual performances like we have this time, it's just going to be back and forth, so many trade kills and back and forth things that, you can't really predict those kind of things happening, obviously. So, I mean, if the big plays from Flamey and World that keep coming, you never know what's going to happen, obviously.
All right, guys, well, map number 2 is going to be coming up here in just a few minutes. Be sure to stick around. We're going to take a quick break, and as soon as we're done with that, we'll be right back with map number 2 here between Russia and France here at the semifinals of the World Championships.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck! What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
It seems impossible, but nobody else, I want by my side, standing with me to take this fight through.